This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about Triple H, though. He does an interview with ESPN Radio, and he's not ready for the steroid conversation, at least according to Dave Meltzer. Meltzer would say he's usually calm and relaxed discussing any subject, but suddenly got really nervous and started stumbling when steroids came up in the conversation. When asked if he used steroids, he nervously said no. He said that while athletes have gotten bigger in other sports, the size of wrestlers has declined, which he tries to use as evidence that few are doing steroids. He said he can't speak for every worker in the country, but overall, there's no problem. And Meltzer says that's such crap. And he would continue in his explanation to say it's more than just appearance, because you need to be able to tell a story, have athleticism and the right look. And steroids get a bad rap because they aren't like heroin. And Meltzer says he came off very poorly once that subject was introduced. Vince and Jim Ross need to talk with talent about this subject because it's not going away in sports. And listen, we're not going to sit here and say he was doing steroids, but he was doing steroids. Steroids exist in wrestling and always have. I realize that the testing is obviously going to change, and you guys are going to try to corral what you can. But as long as it's under doctor supervision, everyone who's ever been a wrestler says no big deal. With the introduction of human growth hormone, that's also something that you're going to see in locker rooms. Maybe not in locker rooms. I mean, I think wrestling fans sometimes think there's a visual of guys just lining up for steroid shots backstage at a wrestling show, and that doesn't happen. But the idea that you have this look that seems unachievable for anyone, and you're 40 something years old, and whether you're headlining WrestleMania or you're number one at the box office in an action movie this weekend, steroids are probably part of the conversation or the equation at some point, right?
Yeah, I think it's the steroid thing's this is me talking, Connie, the bad rap.
Yeah.
It's not a death drug. It's not unlike any other pharmaceutical that is consumed without a doctor's care and supervision. I mean, you can have an anti-anxiety drug like Xanax, and if you abuse them, guess what? You're not going to wake up. Or pain medicine. The thing that I've talked to guys about the steroids is that we don't really take for granted the schedule that they had, and the fact they do their own stunts. They take flat back bumps hundreds of times a year, which your body's not built for. And, it's a recovery drug as well. And nobody wants to talk about that aspect of it. So I'm a little bit more benevolent toward the steroid issue in general, but I'm not for it to be done without a talent being under doctor's care.
Yeah.
And if they see that they're taking too much, or they need to cycle a little bit different with some space between the cycling, and it starts to change their personality. And I've seen that a lot where guys have a little, I don't want to say roid rage, because rage indicates people are just going crazy and throwing chairs and, walking up and hitting somebody for no reason. That didn't happen. That's a little overstated. But I think that under doctor's care, it's got a place. But a lot of guys, because they wanted to save money, they didn't want to go through a doctor. Some doctors wouldn't go for it. Some doctors had an more open mind, like I'm discussing here now. So I'm not advocating it for anybody. But if you're going to do it, you should do it with under doctor's care, without question.
Whatever you're going to do, you should do under doctor's care.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Triple H here. He's got a new book coming out, and it comes out that the ghostwriter will be Mark Madden. And this is kind of fun, because once upon a time, Mark Madden was all over that lawsuit when the WWF was suing WCW, back when WCW was a thing. But when the Flair book got torpedoed, Mark Madden saved the day for WWE, and they reach out to him here to help with Triple H's bodybuilding book. Mark Madden has always been at the center of controversy, and he likes it there. He's comfortable there. One of your Pittsburgh guys, he's ruling the airwaves there as people that, I don't know, can become polarized. Nobody is lukewarm on Mark Madden. Either they love him or they hate him. Where did you land on Mark Madden?
I didn't always agree with what Mark said. It says he's still got a hell of a successful radio show there in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
the most listened to men in the market. And Mark and I get along great, but like anything else, I don't agree with his philosophy on everything, but I respect his opportunities and his ability to speak his mind and to tell us his opinion. He's a very articulate, intelligent guy, and he's a student of the game, a lifelong fan. I wouldn't be surprised if the onion was peeled back. Your father-in-law, the Nate, probably had a little consultation with Triple H about his book, and probably touting the fact that Madden saved Rick's book, and he can help you. So, because it was a very unique marriage with Mark and Mark Madden and Triple H. But they did a nice book. I didn't read it, but it sold some copies, and it was an interesting workout book and things of that nature, bodybuilding, fitness, things of that nature. Things that Mark Madden would have very little knowledge of.
But he
like
read
me,
about it. Yeah.
Like me. He researched. He researched it. He's a reporter. He's a journalist.
Yeah.
He's a real journalist. And so, but Mark had a little bit of Howard Stern type attitude, a little edgy, dances to the beat of his own drum. But I bet Rick, and if we look back at it, probably had a little something to do with vouching for Mark that he would do a great job on this project.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.